let it go, let it go, let it go.
I like that, y'all. I like that, y'all. I like that,
Well, hello there, everyone. How are we doing today? Welcome to another live broadcast of the Crypto Morning Show. I hope everybody's doing great out there. We got some really good stuff coming up today. So let's get into it. The first thing what we do is always going to go over the pricing and the price action. So let's get down here and get started. First of all, what I want to look at is a Bitcoin dominance. You may have seen, if you've been trading last night and today, that there's a rotation out of the altcoins back into Bitcoin, and that's going to happen quite often as folks move things around. And so when the Bitcoin dominance, as shown in this chart, goes up, that usually means that money is coming out of the altcoins, so you can expect somewhat of a decline over there. So we'll keep an eye on the Bitcoin dominance. Right now it was, so when I last checked, it was right at 61%. And let's go ahead and have a look at Bitcoin price. BTC USD is the ticker we're looking for. Bear with me a second. We'll find that one in the faves here. There we go. I'm using the data feed from Coinbase and the 30-minute chart. I'm a little bit more zoomed in today because I wanted to kind of see the price action, because I do have some active trades going on in the altcoin space. And then, so we're looking right now, as you see, back around 1200 UDC, or UTC, I should say, UTC 6 time zone. You can see we had a cross of the 100-day moving average with the 12-day moving average, which to us usually indicates upside. So as you can see, it did materialize. We had some good volume come in, bringing us all the way up to, looks like we challenged the 48,910 mark. Had some sellers in this region. Then folks decided to buy it back up, and then we got to a double top at 49,479. So basically what particular coins you want charted is something I may not cover. If you have questions, feel free to put them in there, and then I'll check in as we move along. Okay, let's move into the second one we're going to check out is the BNB, aka Binance coin. We're going to check the BNB USD ticker. And it looks like it went up to challenge the $138 mark and came back down. Some sellers kind of panic sold and brought her back down to, looks like we landed somewhere to the tune of, we can move the support level up to here. Let's see. Yeah, looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretty solid support here at 130.19. Let's look for some oh shit support. If we break through that, if there's some more selling, the next level down would be 128.92. And we're going to encounter resistance on the climb up at somewhere to the tune of right here, which would be the 134.31. That's Binance USD. Now let's move over to Ethereum. And I do believe Ethereum is kind of, excuse me one second. There we go. We're looking at Ethereum USD data feed coming from Coinbase, because they have the most accurate volume at the moment. Ethereum holding support down at the 1794 mark. Well, you could actually put a second oh shit level at the double bottom here at 17, what is that, 1790, good round number. Diminishing volume in Ethereum. So we'll look over RSI is getting down to the 30 range, which we know is going to be, if we look back, typically we can expect, yeah, we did have a little bounce on this RSI range. So we might be in for another bounce coming up. Fingers crossed. We did have a cross of the 12 over the 26, and then it looks like the 100-day moving average is going to cross, which is called the death cross, which can usually indicate more pain as the lower moving averages cross the long-term moving average. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. So that's Ethereum USD. Moving on to MKR USD. Once again, we're tracking this one on Coinbase. Yeah, looks like we've had a decent sell-off with this guy. And basically, you're going to see a common theme. What is that? It is that the altcoins are all down, Bitcoin going up. So folks moving money around trying to jump on the bandwagon with BTC USD. So let's look for support on MKR at 2483 and then expect to encounter some resistance on the climb back up at, we can draw right in there at the 2553. So say 2550 mark. So you got about a $100 range to keep an eye out there. We did have, you see here, this is the death cross. This yellow line indicates the 100-day moving average, and then you had the 26-day already on top with the 12-day underneath it. So those all cross, and you can see here comes the pain. Up next, let's look at Litecoin, LTC, USD. Activity, this is trading on Coinbase. A little bit of a different story. Litecoin did get up to the, I was watching it last night, up to the 230 mark where it met some resistance. So we're going to pull that down because we're going to anticipate some tough going as we climb back up through. We do have a touchdown on the 100-day moving average. You can see these two wicks on these candles did touchdown, showing support. That's kind of why I've got the support level on these wicks and substantiated by the 100-day moving average. We did get the 1226 cross, which is not as significant, but that does, as you can see, usually indicates that it's going to drop. So quick look at the RSI down here. We're in the 40 range, which are okay, so we're not oversold or overbought. And we're just below the average on the RSI, so that could indicate possibly a change. Volume has been, this is again the 30 minute, as you can see back here in the watermark, is a 30-minute time frame. Volume is above average trading, so that's good indication that they're actively trying to get through. All right, so while we're on the Litecoin, let's move on to ZRX. And this is again on Coinbase. We had the death cross, as you can see, increasing sell volume. So it looks like we have some what is known as weak hands, people that were probably bought up in this region here and are selling because they're trying to protect their losses, which is not a bad idea. You just don't want to unless you have some good significant indications that you don't want to hold on to your bags unless you feel like it's going to bounce and come back up. So, but we're on the BTC side of the rotation, so you might want to see, or you don't want to see, but you may anticipate to see some more pain as you got some volume in the sale still coming up above average. So keep an eye on that, but you are on this particular one on the 30-minute time frame, you're reaching oversold, so a bounce is imminent. To what degree, we don't know, but expect if you're in this one to encounter, let's put you a resistance up here on the climb back up. You're going to start out probably because these particular support lines now become resistance, so we're going to draw that about right in there. So we got to break through here, and then if you get through there, watch for the higher low to be set, and then the climb up should be fun. Now let's take a look at IOTA. Internet of Things is based. So if you ever want to do your due diligence on IOTA, as you know, full disclosure, I own this one, have for a long time because of the use case of it, and we'll talk about that later on when we go over, excuse me, how to do due diligence. Death cross here, just like the other coins. Looks like we're going to have a go at a run up. As you can see, we got into the oversold. Buyers are jumping in here to take advantage of the price. We've got a good solid support level at 008 with the oh shit, let's get out level at around, yeah, we can go there, 0.0086. So not much in between there, so it's a pretty safe bet. Looks like you're on the climb, so that's good. Good. EOS USD. We have the 100-day moving average trending up, and it looks like it's becoming resistance now. So sometimes this happens if you overshoot the moving average. Sometimes it can act as resistance. So look for EOS to push above the 100-day moving average. We're trading just above volume average, and you're going to have resistance. We can move this down right here. So our first level of resistance when we get beyond the 100-day is going to be in the $5.10 range. So keep an eye on that guy. All right, let's go at VET, VeChain. VET, where are you at, VET? You see I'm scrolling down all my favorites that I keep an eye on here. There we go. Well, that's VET, BTC. Well, we'll do it old school way. We'll just type it in VET, USD, VeChain. There we go. Calculated by TradingView. That's fine with us. So we do have a good go at this one. Looks like we had a massive buying spree on the way to the top here as the 12 met the 26-day, all trending upward, 100 days turning up. Been trading above average volume. The only thing is we are oversold. I'm sorry, overbought. Always do that. Always do that. So let's get you a, there we are, support level. Let's put it on these wicks here, because if this doesn't break, oh, we're on the daily. Sorry about that. Now we're on the 30-minute. So it's going to give us some more clarity here. There's your support level at 0.049. Next level of resistance to overcome is this range here at 0.0520. As you see in this time frame, 30 minutes, we have the death cross and the cross here, which brought us down. So let's take a quick look over here in the chat room. Is there anyone out there? Okay, Roland Cabin says, how can you tell what moving average is crossing over? Does the color bleed through saying it crossed over? Okay, good question. Let's take a look at that. So basically, rolling cabin in my chart here, I have the 100-day moving average is colored yellow. The excuse me, 26 moving average blue. 12-day moving average. So how you can tell when these cross is, you can see here, is what typically what you want to see is the 12-day on top, 26-day in the center, 100-day on the bottom. So that's basically indicative of an uptrend. But what can happen is the 12-day moving average crosses through the 26 moving average. There's your cross right there. So when you're charting this, and I don't know if your question is, can I set an alert on that? And yes, you can actually write, once you get a little bit more experienced, alerts to notify you of these cross, when these two cross. And you can also do it in this range here when the 100-day crossed over the two moving average, two lower time. Hopefully I answered your question. If I'm not as clear, please let me know in the chat. We'll keep an eye open there for that. Any more questions before we move in to the next segment? So next segment coming up is going to be, let's have a look at the BTC Futures. That can tell us kind of where the momentum's going. So bear with me a sec. And I'll try to find, there we go, BTC Futures. So this is on the 30-minute time frame. It looks like we've got, talking about the crosses here, we have the 12-day crossed over the 26-day right here. And like I said, that usually indicates when you have the lowest on top, second lowest in the middle, and the long-term time frame of 100-day on the bottom indicates an uptrend. So basically we are trending up at the moment in BTC Futures. And now let's switch over to the BTC market cap. And we'll use CoinGecko for that. So BTC market cap is at 904. Shucks, what is that? 904 billion? Yeah. 1,000 million. Yeah, close to $1 trillion almost. So we have seen a significant, as you can see, the last 7 days increase in BTC market cap. And then taking a look at the others and how they rank. Ethereum still number 2. Tether, which is a stable coin. Ripple, which we don't really worry about. And Cardano, or AKA ADA, ranking 5th. Polkadot, DOT, 6th. Binance Coin, ranked 7. Litecoin, 8. Chainlink, and Btrash. So that's the cap rates. Taking a quick look over in the chat. Okay, gotcha, thanks. Okay, no problem. All right, now let's head over to, we'll look at the B-chain hash rate. And basically what that means is it's going to tell us what the miners are looking at, what the flow of these things. And excuse me one second while I try to locate it. There we go. B-chain hash rate. We'll switch to the weekly. Gives us more clarity. Zoom out. So as you can see, there was some concern right in this area here that the amount mined was getting lower, but it looks like the hash rate's starting to climb again. So everything's looking good and positive for crypto. And then, so now we're going to move in. If you have any more tickers, I'm pretty much done with the ones I have. Let me do, I'm sorry, a couple more. Of course, we got to look at Doge. Good old Doge. Mr. Musk has been quiet this weekend on Doge, so the hype train is kind of slowed down. But let's take a look down at the 30-minute. We had a good bounce recovery down here in the 0.056 range. As you can see, the RSI was oversold. We had a bounce. We have our moving averages all are upside down. So we want to see all of these change over in the opposite order. So we have the 12 on the bottom, 26 in the middle, and the 100-day moving average. So anticipate if we can get through, this can act as resistance, this blue line here, which is 26 days. So if we can pop through draw this line here, this is going to be our first level of resistance on our way back up, and then look for some resistance when you meet up with the 100-day moving average coming up on the climb up. Okay, I'll have a quick look over in the chat here. Number Wayne says, any coins worth invested in right now? And I suppose you're thinking altcoins. Of course, you want to invest. This is not investment advice, of course. I'm just some stupid guy on the internet. But, of course, you want to have a look at, if you're not invested in Bitcoin, that would be my first pick. And then if you're looking for altcoins, you come to the right place, because we're going to talk about today due diligence and how to research these coins and basically determine which ones make more sound financial investment advice, right? So which ones are going to be, and I'm going to go through the criteria, give you an example. So stick around. This should be pretty fun. I think it's going to be really useful for you. And it's something I do all the time. And then I'm going to show you the tools that you can use, and they're pretty easy to do. So it's just basically just here we go. Let's get into it. So one thing I wanted to discuss, I always talk about it, and it was in the this description today, is basically we all, not only were we looking at technical analysis, which is all this charting is, we also want to look at fundamental analysis. And basically what that means is, what is driving the train? Is it news? Is it hype? Is it use case? Basically, these things are being used in the real world. And so we'll take a quick look at that. And one thing I talk about a lot is the use of TweetDeck. I mean, some folks are opposed to Twitter, but it can be very useful to kind of help you see visually some of these pump and dump schemes, or the tweet storms that's trying to drive up price, trick people into buying off the tops that they've already invested in. It'll kind of help you aggregate the news yourself and kind of get an idea of which sources to rely on, which sources tend to push their own agendas, what have you. So this is TweetDeck. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is, and I'll put this link in the chat, and then I'll put it in the description later on for the recorded version. So let me do that real quick. Put the link over in there. There you go. TweetDeck. So all you need for TweetDeck is a Twitter account. And then basically how I got mine set up, this home filter shows basically all the people that I'm following, which are, as you can see, is heavily laced with crypto people and investment folks that I've kind of sifted through and weeded out, that I feel like, with the exception of Bloomberg. So CNBC, Bloomberg, some of those folks are, they have their own agendas. We're not going to get into politics or anything like that. So use your own judgment. But so I do want to see the information that they are putting out there, because it can give me some insight into in comparison to other sources. So basically, this is the main column that you set up, and you can set up it to, depends on your screen size, but all these columns here are basically filters. I wanted to see the trending column, because what you'll see sometimes is when, I think it was last week, we had trending, the top 5 trending on Twitter were all crypto related. So you can look at a real quick glance, you can look here at what's trending. And then the activity stream is, is basically some of the custom things that I'm watching for. Excuse me. Now let's have a look at, so what you can do, I'm going to close this BTC one down. I'll show you real quick. We won't spend a lot of time here, but you can go over here and add a column. What you want to see is, let's say, search, and we're going to use hashtag BTC, and then enter. Now we create a column that's going to filter out all the aggregate Twitter and tweets related to BTC. And so that's how we do that. I don't know how, oh, that's ETC, that's Ethereum. But what you could do is you could just quickly scroll down. If you see a lot of repetitive, you'll see a lot of folks just spam out a bunch of hashtags, which is ridiculous. But you can see in the charts, if the charts start to look the same, then there's usually one on here saying that whales are going to buy $1,600 and dump so-and-so. So you can see all these information. So use this to get a grasp of the news as it relates to crypto, because the news, the hype, can move the meter. I mean, a lot. And one of the biggest ones that I keep an eye on is Elon Musk here, because when he tweets related to crypto, it really moves the needle, and that's been the case with DOGE and BTC. So that's a quick overview of tweet deck. Sorry, and then you can use this tool to aggregate your news, and I find it very useful. Okay. All right. Any questions before we go forward? All right. So let's get into the next topic, which is going to be due diligence. So basically, if I'm considering looking at investing long-term into something, into either stock or coins, what have you, what I want to do is conduct some research into the, how it was created, whatever, and we'll go over a lot of the criteria that we're going to look for. And you can do that in a very fundamental way. And what you want to do is just kind of develop your own, that's what I do, your own format, what things look for to help you evaluate, is this going to be a good long-term investment? And this is often referred to as due diligence. And you'll see folks on Reddit post their DDs. That's what the short for due diligence. And as they research the viability of these things. And so today, I want to go over basically what the criteria is, and then we'll do an example. And the example we're going to use today is Filecoin. And so basically, what you want to look for. So if you're ready to take notes, and I'll put this in the comment section once this is recorded if you want to come back. But meanwhile, before we get into that, if you would like, subscribe, hit the alert bell. That helps YouTube determine that I'm putting out viable content. It's going to help me later on add more content, and even hopefully we'll be getting some guests on here. This trading is really good folks I've got a lineup I've been in contact with. So keep the hype train. Let's go. All right, due diligence, what to look for. So first of all, I'm going to hop over here to CoinGecko. And like I said, let me just go back and show you how I got here. Filecoin. CoinGecko, the link is in the chat there. All the way back to here. Yeah. All right. So this is the main page of CoinGecko. It's absolutely free. And there's a lot of tools on here. Highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them in no way or fashion. But so basically, I think I want to do some due diligence on Filecoin, which is FIL. Right here. Select that. So now we're to this page, and now we can start to go over what to look for when you're doing your due diligence. So first thing we want to look for is market cap. So market cap is basically the total number of circulating supply times price. So if you multiply those two together, that'll get you the market cap. So basically we know that, let's look up here. Market cap is what, at 2 billion? We have a maximum supply of almost 2 billion. So that tells us at closely it's going to be, $48. So 48 times that should equal that, hopefully. Yeah, it will. So first thing we look for is the market cap, maximum supply. So this is going to be the maximum number of coins that will ever exist. So just for contrast, I think Bitcoin is only, let's have a look here. We'll look at BTC. I think it's only like 21 million. Yeah. So look at this. So there's only going to be ever in existence 21 million Bitcoins. And they did that on purpose. So the less supply, the higher demand, right? So that's just going to give it more value as we go along. So you can see here the circulating supply. Out of that 21 million, there's already in circulation 18,628,706,000. So keep that in mind. That's what makes Bitcoin so expensive, because we're fastly running out of them. So back to Filecoin. So you're going to look for a market cap, the rank. I'll show you how to find the rank. So the rank is basically where this coin stands in relation to the other coins. So basically the market cap rank for Filecoin is 33. Okay. Next thing we want to look at is, we've talked about circulating supply, and so how long it was been in circulation. So we can come over to, let's see if I can find it real quick, when it was, and I'll try to blast through here so it doesn't bore you to death, but in here somewhere is the, we know it's been in circulation since October 15th of 2020. And so it tells us that the price history is relatively due. So you want to go back and look at price history, and we can do that. We'll jump over here. We'll go here, and I'm going to go to the weekly time frame. As you can see here, looks like it went, usually when these things first launch, they go straight up, because there's just abundance of supply. And then once you want to look to see how much is trading of that supply. And then, as you can see here in February, astronomical rocket ship. So that's good. So now back to, let's look at, so we're going to look for market cap, rank, max supply, circulating supply, and how long it's been in circulation. Then one of the things you want to look at is the use case. So basically, is this blockchain sustainable, and will people use it? So you kind of want to understand what it's all about and its purpose. And so to do that, we can look down to here is one source. It tells you what is Filecoin. So it's a decentralized, and that's important right there, storage network based on the IPFS protocol. So basically what they're doing here is they've built a blockchain, and down here's another important point that I found was the fact that this is on its own network, so it's not built on top of Ethereum. So it has its own blockchain, and basically what they do is it's a cloud storage just like Amazon, Google Cloud, Dropbox, etc. But what they're trying to do is peer-to-peer look for low-cost solutions. So if you wanted to mine this coin, you can set up a low-latency data storage on your own computer and use their software and get rewarded with Filecoin. So, and then of course the people wanting to buy storage space will buy it with FIL. So that's the use case for this. So it's pretty good. I think it's a great idea. And I'll just read you what I kind of come up with. So Filecoin's an open source cloud storage marketplace, protocol, and cryptocurrency. It's not built on top of Ethereum. It has its own main net. That's pretty important. You can mine FIL by setting up a low latency data storage. And miners can earn Filecoin by providing the closest file data access. So what they're going to do in that peer-to-peer network, they're going to look for the closest person to the person wanting to store something, which makes it faster and cheaper to store that data. So there you go. And so then we want to look at the development team. And the reason you want to look at that, because a lot of, I think there's over 8,000, maybe close to 9,000 now, coins. And you'll find that a lot of these developers and groups are just pumping out different coins left and right. So you want to try to find some that aren't just replicas of each other in under some different name, or failed launches that they're trying to relaunch under a different name, something like that. So knowing the developer is really important. And we can find that information down here in CoinGecko. You see here, Protocol Labs is a company with Filecoin founded by Juan Benet. And then we can actually validate that information up here by the website, and we'll have a look at that here in a second, just to make sure that all this information is accurate. So that's how you want to look at that and kind of look into that. And then as we talk a little bit more here in a second. So investigate the development team and look to see if they got multiple projects. It's really important. So also we're going to use a thing called GitHub. And if you're not familiar with that, most of all these projects are, these are developed by software engineers. So these software engineers post all their development open source on GitHub. So what you're looking for, and I want to move over to GitHub, I think, hopefully. No, I don't have it here. Let me just click on it real quick. Thought I had it saved for you. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I've got it marked here. Here we go. Let me just copy this. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Copy. I've done all this in advance. You take the dash out. Oh. So here's the GitHub for Filecoin, and this shows their website here. And what you're going to look for, a lot of this is going to be, way over most folks' head, including mine. But what you want to see is recent activity. So basically, these developers are resolving issues, like this is updated 17 hours ago. Proofs for, you can see all this activity. The community is still active. So that's telling us that everything is being maintained and up to date, right? And so you can validate that over on their own website. Make sure that the website, here's their website here. Look at their blog. It'll show you how to mine Filecoin. Look for quality of the website, and then, you can do all this, explore the vision, etc. So GitHub, that's what you want to, where did I get that GitHub from? I think it was on here somewhere. If not, you can Twitter, Filecoin, it's on Slack. I think I got it off their website, but yeah, if you poke around, and they're usually pretty, they'll disclose that pretty much for you, where to come by that. So there we go. Next, you want to see is which broker is the most active. So the reason and how you do that, again, here on CoinGecko. Let's see, portfolio. Sorry. Oh, I'm not on the, sorry. Go back to Filecoin here. Should be up there. There we go. So just down here, you can see these two are sponsored, so they're not, but the most actively traded on Haboy Global, which I believe is in Asia or Japan, I'm not sure, so check me on that. And it shows you the percentages of the volume. So 33% of this is traded on that exchange. And then second place, Binance at 19.21%, and it gives you the ticker symbols here. So this is apples to apples because it's Filecoin to USDT, which is USDT is a stable coin paired to the US dollar. So you can see the price between the two brokerages here, two exchanges, are relatively the same. And then also you'll notice that this one's available on Coinbase Pro, but only paired to the BTC. And I think I just saw, in fact I know this morning after doing my due diligence that you can get FIL on USD, US dollar pairing. That way you don't have to spend your BTC. I'll do a quick check-in real quick on the, okay. Thank you for subscribing. Hang in there. We're almost done. Continuing on. A couple things you want to note: their website. Then have a look at their competition. So I did have a look at their competition, which is listed here on CoinGecko. These are Storij, Saicoin, BitTorrent, and Arweave. So I had a look at those, and basically the rank for Filecoin is they're 35th in market cap. They're top in the industry of file storage, where Storij was ranked 218, Saicoin was ranked 84, BitTorrent was ranked 78, and Arweave ranked 121. So, highest ranking of the file storage folks. And then we want to note in the when we're doing our due diligence, just go through their website, look it over. We did determine that yes, they're decentralized, and then we feel pretty good about their use case. Then you want to look at their social activity on social media, Twitter, some of the other ones, YouTube maybe. I don't do Facebook anymore, but have a look on there if you choose. And then finally, look at any hacks on past history. So some of these coins can encounter what's called a 51% attack by miners. What happens is if you can mine over 51% of a coin, you can actually control the price and the availability. So 51% attack is pretty serious, and also double spend, which was something that folks worried about a long time ago. but it's not quite as a big deal as it used to be. And of course, security measures and how they're managing that. So here's a conclusion I came up with. After doing this due diligence, I did take a stake in FIL, and I'm just going to leave it. So we go back. So right after that, I convinced myself that, hey, this is pretty good. It looks like it's going somewhere. It's not just a pump and dump. It does have a use case, and I can see folks that are after cheap file storage solutions and having it on a blockchain where it's peer-to-peer, not being stored on some Amazon server or cloud-based platform, that there could be some advantages there. So, and in doing so, the strategy here would be to, I went ahead and bought a smaller portion this morning after I finished my due diligence. And then I'm just going to scale in. I'm going to not put the whole entire amount in one whack and watch for pullbacks. As you can see on our chart here, we would expect it to come back and retest the 46.23. So maybe put a buy in there with a stop loss of 45.71 because that's our price history. And if it does go down, just keep scaling in, because worst case scenario, it could get all the way down to $41, which would be, let's see what a percentage that would be. But if we're doing this long term, we're just scaling in, buying little by little. That would be a 13, almost 14% drop if it got all the way back down into this region. So, anywho, I'm pretty much ready to wrap up. If you have any more questions, please put them in the chat. Do you have a ticker you'd like me to look at and something you're thinking about getting into? If looks like we've got several folks there. So if you would like to put in the chat, I'll wait around. There's a slight delay. So I'll just wait and see before I sign out of here. Oh, and I will show you, if you'd like to join our Discord server, I'll put that in the chat. Click that link. It's free. We have coming up a membership available, but we can share trading ideas during the trading hours. Basically, I'm in there. I'll be in there most of the afternoon. Discord is pretty cool if you never used it. There we go. Nightbot put that in there. It's free, and there's several channels you can choose. If you want to choose mine, that's cool. But there's a great way to learn, talk to other people, kind of share your concerns. Where would I put $500 in if you don't mind losing them? That's a good question. And that's a good point. So first of all, at this point in time, cryptocurrency is extremely volatile and high risk. So and I'm not a financial advisor, but here would be my strategy there. If I had $500 to invest and I didn't need that back in my pocket for a while, what I would do is put 70% of that 500 into Bitcoin. And by doing that, I wouldn't buy it all at one whack. Just kind of buy it when you see the price drop, scale in of that 70% of 500. So basically, what you do is take, what is it? You could do the math. 70% of 500 is put up that 70%, go in 15% increments and just scale into Bitcoin. And then the rest of that, the remaining 30%, I would look to invest in some altcoins. And then if you're new to the crypto space, a lot of people don't realize that you don't have to buy one Bitcoin at $48,000. You could buy portions, any decimal portion of that, and that's also the case with some of the other, or all of the others, not just some. So basically, I'll sort over here on my screen, and just to give you, once again, just be very cautious about taking this as financial advice. But I'll, full disclosure, I'm not. I got this mislabeled, but basically, these are the ones I own that all have this. And I built me a list inside of TradingView so I can watch. Majority of my crypto is in Bitcoin. And then, like I said, some of these I've had forever. BNB I've had for 5 years. Litecoin had 5 years. VET, 4 years. Ethereum Classic, a lot of people give me a lot of shit over buying Ethereum Classic, but what I'm seeing is, and the reasoning behind Ethereum, Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum chain. And so they forked Ethereum into, what you see now is Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. So for all these coins, they're called I think it's ERC20. Yeah, ERC20 tokens that are built on top of Ethereum chain. So for them to do that, they have to pay gas fees. You have to buy that from, to purchase gas, GAS. And because Ethereum is so expensive right now, the gas prices, here in the United States, gas prices are going up. So what I'm thinking is some folks are going to go scale back into Ethereum Classic because the gas fees a lot less expensive. So you're seeing like Ethereum Classic is up to, touching on $17, $17.50. If you look back here, it's basically at all-time high was 1920, so it's getting up there. So Ethereum Classic, like I said, don't spend your rent money or your mortgage payment on these things. That's a very good plan. Take some money, set it aside, like I always tell people, and if you could invest $100 a month, 70% of that should be in your long-term investment, and then the remaining 30 would be short-term if you want to trade, like day trade, swing trade, some of the altcoins. But whatever you do, try not to spend out of your BTC. Trade with US dollars or Tether or some other pairing. Don't trade out of your BTC. So I'm in crypto for a while, but really had a talent for moving out just before the high. Oh, good for you. Yeah, that's got out just before it went up, right? Well, that happens to all of us. If you're into trading, you can never expect to nail the top, and you never expect to nail the bottom or to be out when it drops. So it's just part of it. Hopefully this due diligence portion here will kind of help you make those determinations, and then as we learn together on how to chart technical analysis, that can kind of help you with that as well. So let me go ahead and change this to, it's not Robinhood, because it's going to be your crypto positions. Okay, any more questions? I'll give it a few moments. If you have some you're thinking about, I'll take a quick peek back into. Really liking this. You can see here I'm looking at ETC on the 30-minute. We have our RSI pointing upwards, volumes above average, good support here, and our moving averagers are all in good shape. So pretty good indicator. Let's look at BTC. Yeah, that's good. BTC, the 12-day is trending upward now, so just kind of worried about a little bit about the volume being low. It's a long weekend here in the United States, so tomorrow will be another. Folks will be sitting at home, those that are fortunate enough to have a job, and then look for a lot of activity moving around. But just kind of get used to the ebbs and flows of the wave into altcoins. You'll see them siphon off of Bitcoin, and then it moves back around, and then there's going to be rotation within the altcoin. So right now, the ones that we did due diligence on today, Filecoin, is up 14% for the day. So what made me look at it is I saw this morning this cross, which told me that it was going to go up. So I wanted to know, okay, let me do my due diligence on it and see if it's something I want to hang on to for a while. So I'm going to hang on to it. You use your own judgment, and then quick look at, so we looked at that. We looked at Bitcoin before we go. Bitcoin, good shape. Looks like we may try to get up there and challenge. We're trying to get over the 49.5. You know, these round numbers are usually psychological resistance, so sometimes it's hard to push through. You know, we have theoretically have a double top here. So usually on the third test, if we can break through on the third go, that shows momentum to the upside. Okay, so I don't see any questions. Thanks everyone for joining me. Like I said, like, subscribe, and hit the alert bell. It's absolutely pain-free, and that will give you notifications that on the next live stream. So I do live stream some at night. If there's a lot of activity and some trading going on, I'll pop in, and also in the afternoons and nighttime in the Discord room where I'll post some trades and charts. We trade together there. It's all free. Free 99. Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you soon.